Good evening, and my name's Alicia, and welcome to our Golden Acre. We've gotten some damage to sweet potatoes from voles eating them, having some issues with the tunneling disturbing our seedlings and that kind of thing. So what I have is these stakes that go down in the soil. They're solar powered. I've had them outside for 2 days now, just a little over 2 days, because they're supposed to charge for 2 days before you turn them on, and there's a little button there to turn them on. Okay, so what they do is they're supposed to beep when you have them down in the ground, and it's supposed to make it difficult for however they navigate, the voles and moles navigate in the soil to do that. So they leave because they can't find where they need to go. So what I wanted to do was go around and just show where I have the damage. Now I'm not always 100% sure which one it is. Not a complete expert, just Google searches have been my area of finding information. But I'm going to show you what I have here, and we're going to place the stakes in and see if it appears that disturbance starts to decrease. So first we've got a hole right here. I believe that would be a vole hole, or no, moles. Moles go deep in the soil, voles stay closer to the surface. Okay. Here is another one, and like right in here, do you see how this, I don't know if you can tell, how the soil is kind of pushed up? That's pushed up. I think you can see it better here. Like it's disturbed right there because there was something tunneling underneath. And what happens, like I planted some radishes here. When these first come up, if that mole tunnels underneath and disturbs that real tender root, then we end up losing that plant. All of these breaks here are where there was tunneling and it collapsed down, because I put fresh compost on this bed. So all the way through here, this is like a tunnel that collapsed down. In here, over there, this has been disturbed. So this whole bed here has had a mole all through it. Just leaving that in there. So you can see the tunnel right down the center. And I planted arugula in here, actually crazy thickly, because I wasn't sure if my arugula seed was still good, because it seemed like every time I went to plant it, it wasn't germinating. So I just planted it real thick because I figured, one, I'll see if it germinates. If it doesn't germinate, then there's no point in me having it in my seed storage for over the winter if it's not willing, or if it's not still good seed. Right here, this one has stayed on the surface, and this is in our garlic bed, and I keep pressing this down. Oh, and we've got a mole too, I think, yeah. So right there and right here. Normally by this point I would have my my garlic deeply mulched by now, but I actually wanted to leave it uncovered till after I got the stakes in, because I wanted to see if there was a difference, because I can definitely see the damage, and I can definitely see them tunneling here where the garlic is. So I wanted to get a stake in the ground and see if I can see a difference before I covered mulch, because normally it would be covered.
You're on, baby.
Would you come a little closer?
While you're holding implements?
I'm holding implements. So if you don't behave, it's easier to catch you. Okay, so I started putting this in over there, but I was afraid some of the stuff that was over there would block the sun coming out of the south. So I decided over here, because these are supposed to cover a 49-foot radius. So it says to make a pilot hole with something. So I'm using the shovel that I've already bent, because I'm extremely strong.
Mm-hmm.
And then, let's see, we want 75%, like 3/4. We want that much of this beneath the ground. Does that look, yeah, that looks 75%, doesn't it, right there?
74 if it's $1.
74 if it's $1, okay. Now the question is, do we think we want these panels slanting east to west or north to south?
East-west.
East-west.
Was it in the directions?
That would imply that I fully read the directions and didn't just glance at the diagrams and come up with my own thing.
I knew what I was asking.
So, all right. So there's a button underneath here, and I'm curious if we're going to hear anything. What do you think? Are we going to hear anything?
I hope not. It makes me a varmint.
Can't tell. We're gonna have to go grab one because I can't tell now with it in if I turned it on or not, because it's like,
Is it on the on side?
oh, there we go. So that's the switch, but I can't necessarily tell. Oh, there we go.
That'd be on.
That'd be on. Okay, we're gonna have to Look at that beautiful soil right there. There we go. So I'm curious if we're going to hear, do we hear another beat past that, or is that just the on beat and that's the only one we'll hear?
Guessing that was in the direction somewhere.
I like to learn by doing.
You sure do, baby. Can't imagine how that shovel got bent.
It's a cheap ass shovel. Is how it got bent. And I'm extremely strong.
Oh, yep.
I mean, there's a mole tunnel right here where I'm digging, so. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but that's definitely, I just dug into a tunnel. So.
Sure did.
Mm-hmm.
Woo-hoo.
Yep. We've had our chickens over this space. And out here, I'm not sure if I want to go as deep with the leaves as deep as they are. So I don't know if they'll cover the solar panels. What do you think?
That's a good, well, I mean, the leaves would count as depth.
Right.
Because it's still going to be...
I think I'm going to go this deep right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've seen, I just dug into a mole tunnel. So they're definitely in here. Kind of the way we did things with running the chickens over this space, covering it with grass clippings. Oops. Let's see. Let's listen. On. I'm gonna use this nice little hole this mole made me for this one here, right there.
You're so reuse, reduce, recycle.
Yes. So basically, a mole dug a hole right there, saying, "Hey, why don't?" Yeah, there's the tunnel. Okay.
So while she's doing that, since she's encouraged me to talk more, the first one is right there. Second one, you can kind of see up in the new garden. So there. And then the last one, the fourth one, is gonna go like right over in there. So we're gonna have a triangle in the old garden with one up in the new garden, and we are well within the 49-foot radius of all of these. So
Yeah.
theoretically, there should be no moles ever again,
Or voles.
or voles.
Yeah.
All of them.
It showed in the diagram that one does 49 feet radius, but then it showed them like 82 feet apart, so that there's some overlap with that, like with the circles that they're supposed to cover. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
The spinner obviously didn't do it because 2 feet away from where we installed the spinner was the planter of sweet potatoes that got eaten by voles.
But the bed the spinner was in didn't have any mole or vole damage.
Right. So we just don't know how far that reaches.
I think this spinner works. It can't get into a raised bed with plastic around it.
Right.
But if that spinner was in the regular garden ground, yeah, I think you'd see a pretty decent radius.
Okay. Something more to research. Right down in that sweet potato bed.
If that's where you want to put it, you go ahead.
I'm asking your opinion.
I would not put it there. Because if you put it, my opinion would be, if you put it out here, then the moles and voles won't even have an opportunity to get to there.
Right. Gotcha.
Or if you put it in there, it's probably going to block a lot of that sound through the ground, and have the same issue you have with the spinner hicker.
Oh yeah, wormy.
For sure it's at 11 in the morning.
So we can hear them.
Yeah, they can. They're a little annoying.
Hopefully, that annoyance is going to pay off.
Yes.
Look at the size of this turnip. Isn't that ridiculously large? That was a volunteer.
That's a lot of turnip.
It's a lot of turnip. Need better ways to cook them.
And they just need to taste better.
Or I need to be better at cooking.
We can go your direction if you want.
All right, so I'm rapidly running out of daylight, and we're getting rain tomorrow, which is good. But I just wanted to show you, I just brought out 2 wheelbarrow loads of compost that was made by our chickens. Look at that beautiful black soil. So this is along the back of the garden where we had our sweet potatoes and our potatoes planted this year. So just put 2 wheelbarrows there, mainly because everything has either been topped or is planted in, and I don't have a lot of space to put stuff. So we topped it there. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to put, if I'm going to plant something there, or if I'm going to cover it with leaves. We'll see. But we've got our stakes in for our moles and our voles. Hopefully we're going to start to see a difference. I'll see less disturbance from the moles and the voles, and we'll lose less sweet potatoes, and we'll lose less seedlings, and it's just going to work marvelously. But beautiful fall day. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you in the next video.